Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and blessings. I want to thank you, God, the Creator, for another opportunity above ground. Thank you. Today's topic is a touchy one, but I think it's required because we are all living during the Great Awakening. The Great Awakening. And today's topic is what I'm going to say. Psychologically, there will be white guilt. It's deep. White guilt. And here in America, worldwide, people are watching. And people are bewildered. They're like, I don't got slaves. I don't hurt people of color. There's no bloodshed on my hands. I don't participate. I don't condone police brutality. It's heavy, man. It is heavy. And 100% you don't. But you're watching this stuff. You're watching this imagery. This came to me because I received a phone call and I received texts from my peers in the coaching fraternity and some of my student athletes. And inspired me to say, let me talk to the public about this. Because there are people going through it. There are people who psychologically are hurt because they are not in the position to be, quote unquote, the oppressor. They're not in a position to do these acts of evil and these acts of hate crime. If anything, they're people who are righteous, who love people, who love our country, and they stand for the common good of man and woman. This conversation happened because I received a phone call from my brother from another, Coach Lankow. Coach Zach Lankow is the indoor-outdoor head coach at St. John's Prep, all-boys Catholic school here in Massachusetts, which is in the North Shore. So roughly, easily 40 to 50-minute ride outside the city. And Zach was like, Coach, man, I don't know what to do. I'm speechless. Like, when he's speaking to me, he was expressing himself. And Zach, I don't want to put you on blast. It was a deep moment because I felt like his voice echoed to so many that I know. There's so many that I know who are like, I don't move like that. I'm not racist. I'm not prejudiced. And through their actions, they are not. They're like, I don't know what to do. He said, Coach, I don't know what to do. And I said, nah, bro, you already did it. You stood with me. That wellness check meant a lot. That's what you did. You checked in. But let's fast forward to a different place. What we can do and what we must do is that in times of this, times like this, I'm asking you, you will listen to JFK, prophetic speeches. You could quote JFK, and he would say something 40, 50, 60 years ago when he was alive that can resonate now. When we look at our current leadership, what is he saying? To unite the people, to guide the people. what he's doing is sparking my belief. Is a select few. It's not all of you. Not everyone thinks like that. But he gives light. That's why I challenge you with those who are dealing with white guilt. I challenge you to use your intellect and inspire and motivate and raise the next generation. Have these difficult conversations because our youth are in the streets protesting. The protesting is not gonna stop anytime soon. We are in the Great Awakening. And during the Great Awakening, as a nation, we must heal white guilt. That's part of the healing because you are being affected. So, what is abuse? There's physical abuse, there's verbal abuse, there's mental abuse. So my white peers who are reaching out to me, my student athletes who are standing out with me in solidarity, standing with not just me, but just everyone who's fed up. You are feeling the effects. So Coach Lankow, thank you for having that dialogue with me because that opened up, me to have this courage to get here in front of this video and share your story. And then I want to advocate for the youth. Well, Coach asks, well, what can I do? Well, Coach, you've done your part. Youth, you need to look at our history. If you were from Boston, if you're from Massachusetts, if you're from America, the Boston Tea Party was a protest. The abolition movement were white men who were against slavery. I'm not going to get into the financial aspect. I'm just going to talk about the premise. The train of thought that has came through Massachusetts white men. Fast forward the abolition movement. JFK. How many presidents have been assassinated? This is the dark truth I am talking about. White guilt. This is serious. So one of your own, because we don't want to make it tribal, but we are all one under the eyes of God. But a man who looked like you got assassinated. Why? What is the evil that doesn't want George Floyd to breathe, that doesn't want JFK to lead as a president? It's the same evil. White guilt, it's the same evil. We are in this together. It's not just Black Lives Matter. Because it is all lives. Like, Black Lives Matter. Like, you see, this isn't a joke. How many Black people are murdered in the last month during COVID for you guys to be like, that's the mental abuse that I'm sharing today, and it's deep. This is a tough conversation, but you can't tell me, because I know, I have experience. If you listen to me, if you jumped on, and I appreciate you've gotten this far, you can probably relate to me. If you are a minority, if you're a Nubian queen, Nubian brother, I have white family members that I love. There are people that I consider my brothers. We are all brothers in the eyes of God. We're all part of our own tribes. We have our tribes. But there are brothers outside of my tribe that I love and I rock with. And I thank you. I don't want to make it selfish. It's not about me. It's about the next generation. So, yes, you're in high school right now. You are in R. And you may not, protest things you may not want to be on the front line. But can you type? Can you make a phone call? Can you make analytical and logical decisions to support a candidate that you believe that upholds our values, the principles, the Constitution? Are they addressing the needs of all the American public? You, the next generation of white kids, white young America. We are all American. You guys already know that. That's what I'm saying. I've had an opportunity to work in the city, work in the suburbs, work with the poor, work with the affluent. You can't tell me, you guys, I'm talking to you, you guys can't tell me you guys are not going to change this world. You guys are going to it starts now. This is the Great Awakening. This is the heavy, heavy truth. All right. Dr. King got assassinated. Malcolm got assassinated. Why JFK? He didn't look like them. It's the same evil, guys. I hate to be the one to be. That's what makes it heavy, the mental abuse. So, we want change. You know what the challenge I'm saying? There are many aspects. We have enough information to look at what was done 100 years ago, 200 years ago. How was that? Because it was documented through art. My artists, you must create content, musical, visual, video, poetic, however you do it. Document the awakening. You know, my scholars, it's time to dissect the policies. Time to rip the policies apart. My lawyers, it is time to free political prisoners. It's time. You know, if you are studying, your job is to understand the past, to understand the present, so we can move in the future. You're going to go into the private sector, financial private sector. You need to look around. Is it diverse? Academia, is it diverse? We can do that. There's going to be protests. That's part of it. We need to take what our scholars have done, what the forefathers and foremothers have done, the queens. I mean, Rosa Parks was considered civil disobedient. But when you look at the nature, it was an act of nonviolence. So this is nothing new, America. It's nothing new. Be aware of the opportunists. There are more of us who want this beautiful planet, this beautiful world. There's more of us who appreciate it. There's people who want it to end. Like, relax with all that, you know. Let's let our love shine. Let our peace shine. We have to accept the violence, unfortunately, because violence has been an aspect since day one. Since day one. It's just that now things are more documented, and that's where the white guilt comes in. That's where the mental abuse is. Like, yo, it's time, ladies and gentlemen. You know, when we talk about leadership, it's one thing to hold the Bible, but did you quote from it? You just held the Bible. So, white guilt, this is how our perception is as Black Americans or Nubians, people from the African diaspora. Well, the Klan burnt crosses, the same cross that people go to church for and worship. That symbol, the cross, they burnt the cross. So what is the difference of someone just holding the Bible but never referencing? Never. That's disrespect. So I'm challenging you guys. White guilt is heavy, but I'm challenging you guys. It's time to get some proper leadership. It starts in our homes first. Peace, love, and equality. This is Coach H.